And you can see if there's people on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll be monitoring that chat as well.
Welcome, everybody.
Good morning. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hi, Paul. Hi, Lynette. Thank you for joining. We are live on YouTube. Paulina is going to kind of talk about orientation and what to expect during orientation, what you should be prepared to do, all of that fun stuff. So I will let Paulina introduce yourself, and then I'll let you take it away. I'll monitor the chats as well. So if any questions come up, I will let you know. But thank you for doing this for us today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Hi, Lynette and Paul. Thanks for joining us. And if there's anyone on YouTube, welcome to our little orientation webinar. My name is Paulina. I will meet all of you in the next few weeks when you arrive for orientation. I work at the KIC. I'm one of the assistant directors, and I am an immigration advisor here also. So we will be in constant contact once you arrive throughout your time at MSU. So we're excited that you're gonna be joining us. The weather seems to be a little bit better right now, but it is Minnesota, so do come prepared for it to be cold. Nonetheless, let's then chat a little bit about what can you expect during orientation, right? We really try to make orientation not just a fun week, but also a week where you're hopefully gonna learn a lot to get you prepared and in good shape for the following week when classes start. So remember, classes start on January 12th. So the whole week before that, we do our international student orientation. And we'll talk about some of the topics that we cover. But just as a reminder, it is mandatory to attend orientation because that is when we do your check-in. We grab all of your immigration documents. You want to make sure, especially now more than ever, that you are in compliance with immigration regulations. And one of those is having to come to orientation to do your check-in, okay? So again, orientation is not optional, it is mandatory, and you are expected to be here, okay? Like PJ has right here on our screen, arrive by January 4th. And our orientation begins right away that Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so we do want you to be here for it. We don't want you to be late for orientation. So okay, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the schedule. And again, if you do have questions as we go through this brief presentation, you can put them in the chat. And then we can answer them as they come through. So don't be scared to start asking questions right now. Like it's a small group of us, so we can handle those. We don't need to wait till the end. I think it's time. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen, and then we can get chatting about orientation. So I just want to make sure I always lose everyone when I do this, and it's very confusing. But oh, there we go. PJ says, I can see you. Can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. All right, super. All right. So I do have the chat open just in case. And I have everyone pulled up here. Okay. So you should all be familiar, right, with your international portal. This is, remember, where you retrieve your I-20, where a lot of the communication back and forth with our office happens in the pre-arrival stages. So this is just kind of like our dummy account, our Stumper Maverick. Remember, this is our mascot for MSU, right? So Stumper is coming as a fake international student for January. So for all of you Your international portal should look very similar, if not identical to this, okay? Right when you log in, you will arrive to the orientation landing page, okay? It's gonna be, there's a lot of information, yes, as you can see, if you keep scrolling, there's lots and lots of info, but it is information that we believe is really important for you to have. So it is important that you take your time, read through the information. Everything that has kind of the blue and underlined are those hyperlinks. So you can always just click on it, and it will allow you to open it if you choose in a new window. Lots of really good information here, okay? So I do think you are gonna be best prepared for not just orientation, but your first few weeks at MSU if you take your time to read through this information. Oftentimes, when students arrive, they have a lot of questions, and we tend to direct them back to the information on the portal. Like everything you want to know, very likely is gonna be answered right here on this page. Okay, so I do encourage you to, if you haven't already, to take some time to read it. So, okay. So again, information on housing, how to get from the airport to Mankato, making sure that you have your immunization records, as you will need to bring them to orientation, okay? You will need to bring your phone, your laptop. We will have people here to help get you connected to the Wi-Fi. And we do have some SIM cards for you to use through Mint Mobile. But anyway, just again, some more information here, and making sure that your phone and your laptop will be compatible with the systems that we have at MSU. Making payments to MSU Mankato, you can do things through Flywire, which is the international payments. However, whatever way you choose to make your payments, you just need to make sure that you come prepared. One of the things that you will need to make a payment towards before you can register is your health insurance premium, okay? The amount for spring and summer will be $1,513. And again, that premium needs to be paid before you can register for classes. There will be a hold on your account that will prevent registration until you make that payment, okay? Coverage is mandatory per Min state guidelines, okay? So everybody who comes to a college or university within the Minnesota state system is mandated to purchase this health insurance. So unfortunately, there's really no wiggle room for that. You do have to purchase it. So make sure that you're prepared to make that payment the week of orientation, okay? All right, so one thing that we do want to highlight, because oftentimes it gets underutilized, is our welcome drivers, okay? We do hire student workers that can help you once you arrive to Mankato. If you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to go to a store to get items to get your apartment set up, if you need to go to the bank to open a bank account, etc. The welcome drivers can help you for free to do that, okay? They have a car, they can come pick you up and help you to go to all of these different locations, okay? This is the phone number that you can reach them at. Call or text them through WhatsApp. And these are the times that they are available. So they are available almost always from 10 a.m. to at least 10 p.m. And on most days, it'll be 10 a.m. to midnight Mankato time. So unfortunately, they cannot go get you from the airport. But once you arrive to Mankato, if you take the bus, the Lanta Air shuttle to campus, and then if it drops you off here and you're figuring out, how do I get to my off-campus apartment? call that number. They can come pick you up and help you with your luggage to do that, okay? So again, this is a really great number to save to your WhatsApp contacts during that orientation week. We don't have this service once the semester starts. It does run January 2nd through January 10th. Once after January 10th, at that point, you will be able to use the local Mankato public transit, which is very good. It can take you everywhere in Mankato for free with your student ID, okay? But we do recognize that at the beginning, when you first arrive, you may need to get a lot of things to get set up, and that can get a little difficult to transport in a bus. So that's why we have the car. So do take advantage of that. There is more information about the buses here. And again, it is free, the busing with your student ID or your MAP card. That's what we call it, okay? Information on housing can be located in this section as well. But if we start diving a little bit more to orientation, okay, you will find here that orientation check-in will begin on Tuesday, January 6th, okay? So that is the day that you have to be here no matter what to do your check-in, okay? Check-in will begin at 9 a.m. and will conclude at 1 p.m. Keeping in mind that it does take between 15 to 30 minutes to check in. So if you arrive at 1 p.m. or at 12:45, it's probably not the best idea. We do want you to be here. The sooner you get here, starting at 9 a.m., I think the better position you'll be to have a successful start to your orientation, okay? We do try to stick to our orientation schedule as best as we can, but of course, some things may force us to change the schedule. But so always keep an eye on the international portal for any of those big changes, should they happen. Although again, we try to stick to the schedule that you see here. What should you bring for orientation? We cannot check you in if you don't bring your passport that has your visa stamp in it, your I-94, you can print it or you can bring it electronically. Here's the website to how to download your I-94 after you have arrived in the US, and your I-20. The I-20 cannot be electronic. It needs to be a printed I-20 form, okay? So you need to bring those 3 items to orientation. Every once in a while, students will show up and say, I'm here for check-in, but I don't have my passport. We're gonna turn you away and ask you to come back when you have your passport, okay? So for a smooth check-in, just bring those 3 things: passport with the visa stamp, the I-94, and your I-20, all right? We will have technology sessions on that first day of orientation, that Tuesday. During these tech sessions, someone from IT Solutions will be leading those, and they will show you all of the different platforms that we use at MSU. Again, to ensure that you have a successful start to your semester, all right? So these technology sessions will also be mandatory, and they will happen right after your check-in, okay? So if you know that you need to do placement testing, although check-in doesn't start until Tuesday, you can start placement testing on Monday if you want to get that out of the way, okay? So you can stop by the KIC and we can help you find your way to that placement testing on Monday. Otherwise, everybody should be here on Tuesday for check-in. As it says here, from 9 to 1 in the Centennial Student Union, the CSU 245. So anything that has a 2 in front of it, that's the second level. So then we'll be up in the second floor. That's where you will find us for check-in, okay? Right after that, as I mentioned, we will head over to the technology sessions. If you need to do placement testing, you can do that on Tuesday after check-in. In between, after you check in and after the technology session, our peer mentors, which are students who are excited to meet you and have been training to be peer mentors and have been in your shoes in the past. They will help you go get your student card. They can help you and show you where you make that health insurance payment, etc. Okay. These are the peer mentors, by the way. We had a meeting with them a couple of weeks ago. It's 12 of them. They are so excited to meet you. Again, they're international students just like you from so many different countries that will be here to guide you and help you during orientation week, okay? They will all be wearing a yellow peer mentor t-shirt, so they'll be really easy to spot. So of course, always feel free to connect with them during orientation week because they will be here the whole time that you're here. Okay. That is going to be the morning of Tuesday. And then in the afternoon, if you are a transfer student, okay, we will have a question and answer session for transfer students in CSU 238 starting at 1 p.m., okay? If you are not a transfer student, we will meet at 1:30 in CSU 201 to talk a little bit about how do we get ready for the winter. As we're talking, I just looked out the window and it's snowing here a little bit. So if you've never seen snow, if you've never experienced snow, January is really a really beautiful month to be here because of that. But we want to make sure that you're prepared for that. So you are not super cold. It is going to be a bit of a shock to the system, but what can you do to ensure that you have everything that you need to be ready for winter? We'll talk about that from 1:30 to 2. At 2 p.m., we are going to discuss the work permit. Getting a job on campus is something that is really popular amongst international students. But because you are an international student, there needs to be a certain process that you have to follow in order to get that work permit. So we're going to talk a lot about that. What are those things to keep in mind? How to go about finding that job on campus? Some of those tips and tricks. So if you are interested in having an on-campus job, this session will be really important that you attend. 2 to 2:30. At 2:30, we're going to talk a little bit about how do we get involved on campus. The best way to get acclimated with campus life, to make friends, to have that sense of belonging, to really start feeling like Mankato is home is getting involved on campus. There are a ton of different student organizations, a ton of different activities that you can be a part of. So we're going to introduce you to some of those. So again, you can get your foot in the door right away with some of them, okay? And then at 3 p.m., some of the peer mentors, again, right here, they're going to help you figure out how to navigate the bus in Mankato, okay? I think how bus and public transportation works, it's really different in every country. So even though you may be familiar with how to use public transit in your country, you may find that it looks really different when you get here. So peer mentors will help you navigate kind of those ins and outs of what does a bus stop look like? How do you flag the bus and tell them, hey, I want to get out here? So they will go in the bus with you and take you on a kind of like a big loop of Mankato, and we'll show you some of those big landmarks that you may need to stop at, like the grocery store and, you know, different stores that you may have to frequent. That will happen from 3 to 4. And then when you get back, that's going to be a long day. You'll probably come back and you'll be kind of hungry. So we got you. We're going to have pizza. When you get back from 4 to 5:30, we're going to have pizza and we're going to play a game that's called bingo. It's a very traditional American game. It's really easy to fun. It's to play. It's really fun to play. It's really a good time to start getting to know other students here, to kind of let loose, be a little silly, not be super serious during that time, have fun, win some prizes, because we always have really great prizes during that. And all of these activities, as you can tell, they're all going to happen for the most part in the CSU. The flex space is in the basement of the CSU. So when you arrive, also, we will have created a WhatsApp group for new students that we will share the QR code and how to join it during the check-in session. That way you can also stay up to speed on what's next, even though you will have it readily available to you in the portal, okay? So that is Tuesday. Wednesday, the mandatory sessions will begin at 9:30. Again, per immigration regulations, we have to offer all of these sessions to you, okay? So for us to be in compliance with immigration regulations, we have to tell you about these, we have to have these sessions for you. So it's going to be really important that you attend. The first one starts at 9:30. From 9:30 to 10:15, we will talk about immigration regulations. Again, now more than ever, it's really important that we pay attention and we know what are our responsibilities as international students to make sure that we're in compliance, that we're making good progress towards our degree, how to stay safe. So make sure that you arrive promptly at 9:30 to CSU 245. Remember, CSU 245 is the same place where you did your check-in. Okay, so we're kind of going to be around the same area throughout the orientation week. After that, you don't need to go anywhere. You will stay in the same room and we will talk a little bit about your international health insurance. There's always a lot of questions about what does this insurance cover? What does it mean to have health insurance? What if I get sick? Where can I go to the doctor? We're going to cover all of that during that session, okay? Once we're done with that, again, you're going to stay in the same room, and a representative from the Career Development Center is going to come talk to you about Handshake. Handshake is a really cool platform that MSU uses for students to find jobs on campus, okay? So that's going to be important that you are familiar with how to use Handshake if your intention is to find a non-campus job, okay? Once we are done with these 3 sessions, we are gonna pop on over to CSU 253, 254, and 255, where we are gonna have a welcome lunch. For me, the welcome lunch is the highlight of orientation week. It's just a really nice time for all of us to get together, to enjoy a really nice meal. Our Dean for Global Education will do some welcome remarks. And it's really, again, just very low key, but again, free food. We don't want to say no to free food. And just getting to know each other, right? When we wrap up with the lunch at 12:40, you will then, the peer mentors will help you go visit your academic advisors. The academic advisors will then give a short presentation on class registration, because registration in the US looks very different than everywhere else in the world. So they will explain to you what are credits, how does it work, what does it mean to be registered for 1 credit class versus a 3 credit class, what does general education mean, etc. There's a lot of nuances to registration in the US, and so during these mandatory sessions you will talk about that. So don't need to worry about where do I go. Peer mentors will take you depending on what your major is, okay? So as long as you stay here in CSU 253, 45, we will help you get to those advising sessions, all right? Those will be done at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m., we invite you to come back to the KIC, okay, outside of our office. And we are going to take you over to the Auto Recreation Center for a tour. One of the things that you get at MSU when you pay your tuition and fees, aside from, getting the benefit of taking classes here, of course, you are also entitled to use all of the facilities at MSU. That includes, of course, the library, that includes the tutoring center, but that also includes the recreation center. And their recreation center has basketball, indoor basketball courts, a full equipped gym for you to use. You can check out different equipment. You can join different recreation leagues. Like if you like soccer, you can join the soccer club. You can join a basketball league. So the folks at the Auto Rec Center are going to show us like where it is, what it is that they have there available for you to use. So kind of a fun thing to know how to use. Sometimes when students miss these tours, oftentimes they will come back 2 semesters later and say, hey, I didn't know that I could use that gym. I didn't know that was for everybody. So these are, you want to make sure that you're paying for it. You want to make sure that you're using it, right? And of course, after all of this is done, you're kind of done for the day, which it makes it, again, the orientation week is a really long week, but nonetheless, we're really hoping that a lot of the information that you receive is information that you will find really, really helpful and useful to get you off on a good start at MSU. Thursday's kind of, it doesn't look like it's a big day, but it's definitely, I would say, the day that most students are really excited about because it is registration, okay? This is a time where we register for classes. So we are gonna meet at 9 a.m. in CSU 25345. Again, this is where we had our welcome lunch. So you kind of go back to the same place. And from there, the peer mentors are gonna help you get to the place where the advisors will be to help you register for classes, okay? 9 a.m., very important that you get there on time, all right? If you still need to do placement testing, just know that that will continue to happen. And you can just come to the KIC and we can help you get there. Then at 2 p.m., once you're all registered, you should all be registered and done with that by 12 p.m., 12 noon. Come on back to the KIC at 2 p.m. and we will walk with you to Hosanna Chapel. It's a place that it's very, very close to campus. It's walking distance. And from 2 to 4, we are hosting a warm welcome for you. So there's going to be food. There's going to be lots of giveaways, specifically winter clothing and blankets. So if you know, like, hey, I think I'm gonna need a jacket, or oh, I'm not sure that I'm gonna have the right clothing for a Minnesota winter, come to the warm welcome because we do have stuff ready for you. Okay. The Hosanna Chapel also has a lot of indoor games. They have like foosball and a bunch of, I think they have ping pong. So it's always a really fun time for students to connect with each other during that time, okay? And lastly, on Friday, January 9th, remember, you do registration on Thursday. So by Thursday afternoon, you will know what your classes are. So you will have your class schedule with you. Grab that class schedule and bring it with you on Friday to the KIC. Between 10 and 12, the peer mentors will be here to help you get to where your classes are going to be. So they will show you like, okay, it looks like you have a class on a Monday at 9 a.m. in Armstrong Hall 231. They will walk you to Armstrong Hall 231. And then from there, they'll show you where your next class will be. That way on Monday, when your classes start, you will feel really comfortable and confident on knowing where you're going to go, right? Because there's nothing worse than having that feeling of, I'm going to get lost. And granted, you will probably still get lost that first month of the semester because you just do. It's a big campus, right? But I think coming to the campus tour with your schedule is going to increase your chances of knowing how to navigate campus really well on that first week, okay? And again, placement testing will continue to happen on Friday if you feel like you still need to do that. We don't have anything on Saturday this time around. I think it's gonna be a more intimate, smaller group this time. So I think we can get everything accomplished between Tuesday and Friday. But again, um, everything that you need to know for orientation and before you arrive, it's all listed on the international portal. PJ and their team have done a great job at keeping this ready and up to date as things change with all of the really useful links that you can follow. So I do encourage you to make sure that you have the portal ready to go on your phone. So when you arrive, again, you can quickly open it up and know where you're supposed to be next, okay? Some of the pictures that you can see here, all of these happened during orientation in the last few years. So it's, it's a time where, yes, you're gonna learn a lot, but you're also gonna start making friends, start being silly, kind of have fun. And just know that we are really excited for you to be here. We're excited to get to know you. We've been working really hard towards orientation for a few months now. This is not something that we put together quickly. It's a lot of work, and so our kind of like the cherry on top for us, like the culmination is when you finally arrive. So we feel like we're almost there. I'm hopeful that you are just as excited as we are that you will be here. And yeah, we're just looking forward to meeting you. Are there any questions? PJ, is there something that I missed, something that we need to maybe talk a little bit further? Feel free, guys, to, if you feel like you have a question right now, just put it in the chat, raise your hand, whatever works best. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Paulina. No, I think you covered literally everything. I think my only piece of advice for students would be to just really come with an open mind and just come here wanting to make friends. Orientation is the perfect time for that because you're all starting at the same starting line. It's great for you to connect with friends. Like I'm still friends with people I met during orientation. So
Yes.
that just kind of shows you the impact and the importance of that week. And yeah, Paulina and her team have done such a great job of like really curating your week for you and really putting all of these like really deep attention to detail. So come here to learn, get ready to engage with people, get ready to engage with us. We're all going to be there. And so it's going to be really wonderful to see you guys in person and say hello. So come and stop by and say hi to Paulina and me and say, hey, I was in your webinar. It's nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
do
So
that. That'd
we
be so
know.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fun.
Yes,
Um,
it is really fun. Yeah.
Lynette said, not a question. Will you share the schedule? So the website that Paulina was on is already accessible to you. So that's exactly the schedule that you would see.
Yep. So just log on to that KIC portal.
Yep.
And
So the KIC portal is where you submitted your bank statements and submitted your I-20 request. That's the website.
yep. Just in case, I will put it in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
There's the link one more time. So do make sure that you have that saved as a favorite or something to your phone or whatever device you plan on bringing. What else was I gonna say? I can't remember. But yeah, like PJ said, everyone who's at orientation, everyone is experiencing the same thing you are for the very first time. So you already have something in common with everybody there. Which is we're all new, we're all kind of a little scared, because it's okay to feel kind of scared, like, oh gosh, I don't know anybody. Everyone's gonna be in the same boat. So lean into that, and like PJ said, just come with an open mind and just ready to learn new things, meet new people, and just embark on that new challenge. It'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see any questions on YouTube, so I think we can end early today. But if you guys have any other follow-up questions, I'm gonna leave our international at mnsu.edu email in the chat. So between now and until orientation, if something comes up and you have any questions, you can either call us or email us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Although do keep in mind that it's holiday season for us, so we are going to be closed a few days next week and the week after that leading up to orientation. So if you reach out to us on December 24th and you don't hear back from us for a couple days, that's because we're closed December 24th and 25th, as well as December 31st and January 1st. So there might be a little wait time to get back to you. Obviously, we do our best to get back to you as soon as possible, but if for some reason you're kind of thinking about that, just know that we are going to be closed a few days until orientation. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Paulina.
Yeah,
Paulina.
thank you guys. I'm excited to meet you in a couple of weeks and safe travels. We'll